Do it multiple. Shout out to the CIA. That's right. What's going on? What's going on? What is going on out here in ATL? Getting equipped, getting familiar with my new city. Check into the office tomorrow. The new digs, the new spot where I'll be making more videos, more content, hosting my corporate. When I have my corporate image clients come in, a lot of stuff coming up. You need a meeting room, you need a boardroom, little space, but you also just need to be able to, even if you have a home office, having a remote office is good. You see the title of the stream. Do it for who's most important. There's a book by an author named Simon Sinek. It's called Start With Why. When I work with guys one-on-one, I always ask them a simple question. Why? Why are you doing a lot of the stuff why do you want what it is you say you want? And what it is, the funny thing is, you realize as a man, get the likes up, folks. You realize as a man, we tend to try to focus on the end goal, the big picture, the macro before anything else. And before you can get the macro, you got to get the micro. I mean, that small picture. Start with why. I love when people blow their horn behind me. I'll just sit on my brakes. Motherfucker, you ain't doing nothing. I'm just gonna sit back there. Start with why. And the why is what will get you up in the morning when it's 20 degrees outside. The why is why you do what you do. That's what it is. Start with why. And that's the main thing with so many guys today. You don't know your why. You know the what. You know what you want to get out of it. But if you don't know why you're doing something, when it gets hard, it's easy to quit. So let me ask you something. I talk about, the importance of image. I should not get really pushback from guys who know what their why is. But when I get pushback, you said, your why is me and my kids. I'm going to tell you why that is incomplete. The most important person is you. Let me tell you something. Forget your kids. Forget your wife. Forget everybody else. If you aren't doing it for you, you won't do it the way it needs to be done. You need to get your image together and improve your image for you. Self-improvement for you. Acquisition of power for you. You. One of the main things when you counsel alcoholics and drug addicts, one of the first things the average person want to sit back and tell them, Bob, well, you're ruining your life, Bob. You have a beautiful wife and a beautiful family and a great business and a great community. All that stuff doesn't matter when he's on that rock or that needle or drinking. Bob has to want to get clean and sober for Bob first. Then all that other shit. All that other stuff does not get it done. You have to become selfish, men. You have to put yourself first. And here's the thing. And any woman who sits back and say, well, that's wrong. No, your priority and a man's priority is completely different, because the motivation has to be for you. Because you got to get out here and fight. You got to get out here and go to battle, go to war for you. You. That's why I want men to get them. This is why I can tell what a man thinks of himself by the way he looks and carries himself. I don't care if you're a multi-millionaire or a dude that's working fries at McDonald's. You. And I can tell that you don't really think a lot of yourself by the way you carry yourself. And I want to make this a big distinction. This ain't about you need fancy brand names and logos and all that other kind of stuff. No. I can tell what a man thinks about himself by the way his clothes fit. Yep, by the way his clothes fit. Because we need to get over this bullshit of the multi-millionaire, the billionaire who dresses like a bum. That's crazy. I'm in in an international city with multiple millionaires here. And I'm going to tell you, they look the part. I don't want to get off on a tangent on this, but we need this whole push for minimalism, especially on certain sectors of YouTube. No. Minimalism has to still have a maximum outcome. Minimalism does not mean dress like a goddamn janitor. You still dress like a man. You have to be your number one thing. And here's the thing, because you're not going to be able to, your wife, your kids, even your God ain't going to be enough to motivate you to do what you need to do if you don't put yourself first. In order to get what it is, in order to be able to compete with other groups of men, you got to be selfish. That's right. And when it's time to stop playing like we don't, other groups of men, the men put themselves first. Put yourself first, and it's a better outcome. See, the king can marry a local farm girl and she becomes a queen. A queen marries a local farm boy, he's just the queen's husband. And I can tell you, far too many guys today don't put themselves first. You don't put yourself first. You don't want it for you. Why are you making $40,000 a year at 40 years old? Why are you making $20 an hour at 40 years old? Because you don't want nothing for you. You okay. You're all right. Well, guess what? If that's all you want, you can't do no better for nobody else if that's all you want. Oh, let me put a caveat. You're making $40,000 a year at 40 years old and you're working 40 hours a week. See, if you're making $40,000 a year at 40 years old and you're working 80 hours a week, then we can talk. But if you're working 40 hours a week, 40 years old, making 40 grand, you're not ambitious. And that's fine. The world needs ditch diggers too. These aren't insults, these are facts. But guess what? You can't get mad if a woman sit back and say, I can't be getting out here and want to get out here and marry you and have your babies. These children gonna struggle. We can't afford any kids in today's America. With me, you, that means your woman got to get out and work. She got 12 weeks maternity leave. Then you got to put the kids in daycare and all other kind of stuff. You know how expensive daycare is for a newborn? Are you kidding? Look, man, and look, woman. That's why I said I don't mind being judged. Judge a man. That's right. But you can't motivate a man to do shit if he don't want to do it for himself. And don't get mad when the world looks at you, or when women look at you, or when people look at you and say, you don't want nothing no more. Why? Because you look at how you carry yourself. Look at how you do. Look at what you do. Look at how you do and look at what you do. You can't get mad when people recognize that. You're not the most important person in your life. I mean, look, you don't even care about how you look when you come out the house. Pants all down around your butt, hair all over your head, wearing tennis shoes at 40. Yeah, man, that's right. You don't look like a man, don't carry yourself like a grown man. Then you get mad when somebody don't respect you. No, they give you the respect of a teenager. Because if you cared about yourself, if you were the most important person in your life, you'd make sure that when you came out of the house, you commanded respect. Bottom line is this, guys. The most important person has to be you. And if you aren't the most important person to you, don't get mad, don't get pissed off that no one else treats you that way. You don't get respect from other people if you don't respect yourself. You don't get treated well by other people if you don't treat yourself well. They're just looking at how you do you. And they're acting accordingly. They say, well, shit, look at how this dude carry himself. He obviously ain't worth the damn. He don't think any more of himself than to do this. I don't have to do anything for him either. Get mad. More on this topic later. The most important person has to be you. And if it ain't, you got no one to blame but yourself. Put your weight on it. Peace.